Paki-explain nga po, ano, how exactly do you think, based on your petition, can the Supreme Court compel Congress to pass this anti-political dynasty law?
Yes, it can. As a matter of fact, it can compel because the Section 26, Article 2 is mandatory. No? Nakalagay dito Section 26, Article 2 ng ating 1987 Constitution, the state shall, ibig sabihin imperative, mandatory, guarantee equal access to opportunities for public service and prohibit political dynasties as may be defined by law. The Constitution itself in this particular section outlaws political dynasties, prohibit political dynasties. Ang kailangan lamang ay definition kung ano ang political dynasties.
Okay. So, walang choice ang Kongreso kundi magpasa ng batas laban sa political dynasties. Ang tanong po, hanggang kailan sila pwedeng pabanjing-banjing? Kasi more than 30 years na po, ano? Wala pong lumulusot na anti-political dynasty law sa Kongreso.
Well, to borrow your language, very colorful, pabanjing-banjing sila ng 37 years since the enactment of the 1987 Constitution. At dapat niyan, right there and there, if they're doing their job and the duty, that they're following the mandate of the Constitution, dapat niyan, as early as after the enactment of the Constitution, gumawa na sila ng batas. Di ba? Dapat i-define ng political dynasties. Up to now, after 37 years, they have not done so. That's why we have this petition.
Paki-explain nga po yung mandamus petition nyo, no? Ano ba yung nature niyan kung saan pwedeng i-compel ng hukuman ng isang ahensya ng gobyerno o sangay? Pwede bang gamitin po yan sa Kongreso to do its job?
Pwede po yun because they're supposed to be doing their job. Imperative, mandatory job. If they have neglected performing their job under the Constitution, then they can be subject to a writ of mandamus.
Hindi po ba pwedeng i-cite ng Kongreso? Teka, co-equal bodies tayo dito. Magkapantay tayo, kayo judiciary, kami legislature. Sino kayo para sabihan kami kung anong dapat namin gawin?
Well, kung ganun lang ang reasoning nila, medyo malabnaw yata yun because the Constitution actually commands and orders them to enact a law along that line. So the Supreme document that should compel them is the Constitution itself, not the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will simply ask them to abide by the constitutional mandate.
Kung hindi po nila gawin?
Well, they'll be probably cited for contempt.
By the Supreme Court?
By the Supreme Court.
Okay. So technically, sino po respondents dito sa inyong petition? House Speaker tsaka Senate President?
Opo, at tsaka Kongreso itself.
Okay. Ano po, can you walk us through the process? So nag-file kayo ng petition and then pagko-commentin po yung respondents and then what else po? What will happen?
Then the court will probably call for an oral argument at their discretion, and perhaps we'll have to ask us what will be the issues and what are arguments, and the Supreme Court, the Honorable Supreme Court, will decide accordingly. Hopefully, they will take cognizance and give us our petition due course because of its transcendental issue that we have posed, and therefore the Supreme Court will issue a judgment along that line, and hopefully it will be an en banc decision which is doctrinal in nature.
Doctrinal. Pero pwede rin ba, syempre, dun sa realm of possibilities, pwedeng ibalik yan, iba to sa Kongreso. Teka, labas kami dyan. Let Congress make that decision, if and when.
Pero kung gagawin natin dun, anong remedy ng mga tao, the sovereign people who enacted and approved the Constitution? The supreme organ of our country. Nakalagay yan sa state policy natin. Yung Section 26 is one of the 28 or so sections in that particular Article 2. And that is a mandatory command of the Constitution itself. So hindi dapat babaliwalain ng mga branches of the government there. For example, Ang Supreme Court has already issued mandatory or writ of execution against the executive branch. Marami po tayong na-encounter na ganyan. Why can't the Supreme Court now issue a writ of mandamus against the legislature, commanding it to enact a law as mandated and as imperatively mandated by the Constitution, to enact a law defining and prohibiting political dynasties?
Attorney, may I also know, no, why did you decide, you and your colleagues decided to file this petition at this time? Ano yung nag-trigger? Or ano to, talagang frustrated lang kayo over the years?
Alam mo, Christian, kaming mga magkakaklase, very solid kami, no? Very close kami. And one of my classmates who is sight impaired, nagsabi sa amin, ito pa bang bulag po namin kaklase, ang nagsabi pa sa amin, si Attorney Wilfredo Trinidad. At nakita niya na 37 years na walang nangyayari dito sa Section 26 implementation. Sabi niya, why don't we come up with a petition for a writ of mandamus? Sabi namin mga makakaklase, after our reunion in somewhere sabi namin, oo nga, malapit na tayo. We are already at the last stage of our legal practice. Hindi ba natin kailangan utang natin sa mga kababayan natin, sa future generations, sa ating mga anak, na bigyan sila ng heritage, na dapat ay magkaroon ng batas, na dapat ay sumususog sa constitutionally mandated and imperatively mandated, na dapat ay i-prohibit ang political dynasties. Alam na po natin kung bakit natin pinoprohibit ang dynasties na talakay na yan. Sinabi mo nga kanina, meron ng study si Professor or Dr. ng De La Salle, and of course the Ateneo School of Government, itong From Fat to Obese, Political Dynasties After the 2019 midterm elections. They're all documented. We have empirical data, Christian, that show that the political dynasties are the root evil, the root cause of the bad governance as well as the underdevelopment of the country. And we have not done that to prohibit the political dynasties since 1987. In fact, the records of the commission, the Constitutional Commission, will show that's exactly what is the need for our country. That's why they inserted that Section 26, included that Section 26, Article 2 sa Constitution.
Oo nga, no? Konting background din po dito sa mga viewers natin, no? The last time I interviewed one of the members of the 1986 Constitutional Commission, si Attorney Christian Monsod, naitanong ko rin po kasi yan, sir, no? Ba't kasi hindi nyo pa ginawang self-executory yung provision na yan? Bakit iniwan nyo pa yung desisyon sa Kongreso para i-define kung ano ba yung political dynasties para ma-ban sila sa ating politika? Ang sabi niya, well, they underestimated the greed for power of our politicians. And true enough, talagang tumaba yung mga dynasties, no? Pati nga yung party list system natin na hijack and na bastardize nila. Ang tanong ko po sa inyo, attorney, realistically, paano makakapagpasa ng anti-political dynasty law ang isang kongreso na infested, for lack of a better word, infested by political dynasties? Because if you think about it, that would be an existential threat to them.
Paano would be talagang malaking question mark yan. For the past 37 years, hindi pa nila ginagawa yan. But somehow, somebody has to compel them. Because the Constitution is the supreme organ that should be followed. And it says you should prohibit political dynasties. Now, kung hindi nila tinutupad dyan ng Kongreso for whatever reason that you have just stated, na hindi na puro self-serving yan, marami siyang conflict of interest sa mga Kongreso because they're part of the political dynasties themselves, most of them, if not all, then ang tao na ang maghuhusga sa kanila. Because the Constitution is the sovereign people's enactment. Di ba? Ang Constitution, ang sovereign people ang gumawa niyan, hindi ang Kongreso. Sinasabi ng Constitution dapat i-prohibit ang political dynasties, Christian. Maliwanag na maliwanag na imperative at mandatory ang command ng Constitution at hindi dapat yun ay binabaliwala ng Kongreso.
Yun nga po eh. Yung context po ng tanong ko, sir, no, I completely understand where you're coming from. Napakalinaw po niyan sa Constitution. Pero realistically, no, for instance, although in fairness naman, no, I think baka nga mas may pag-asa pa yung lumusot sa Senado kaysa dito sa mababang kapulungan. Pero that's just my gut feel. Pwedeng mali po ako, no? Kasi for instance, tingnan po natin yung composition ng Senado. May mag-ina, Villar. May magkapatid, Alan and Pia Cayetano. Magkapatid na naman, Jinggoy and JV. Dati nga, nag-abot pa si Jinggoy at saka yung nanay niya, si Loy Ejercito. Kung nanalo pa si Vice President Binay nung nakaraang eleksyon, I think he placed 13, and then nag-abot pa sila ng Nancy Binay. I mean, for a 24-seat chamber, ang dami magkakamag-anak. So, dun pa lang po sa Senado yan, pupunta pa tayo sa House. Yung speaker mismo, di ba? Belongs to a very fat dynasty. Tapos yung mga Marcoses, nag-groom pa na mga susunod sa kanila, for instance, di ba? I mean, realistically po yung tanong ko. I mean, aside from the legal, we know that's a very clear issue. Pero realistically, they think Congress would it be in their interest to pass a law that would go against the interests of the political dynasties?
They would, because they're answerable to their constituents. Remember, there are representatives of the people of their respective territories that they are supposed to be a congressman of, a governor of, the barangay of, the town of, or the city of. So they are answerable to the people themselves. That's why dapat, Christian, dapat we should heighten the awareness of the Filipino people, the electorates, na ito ay evil na nandito sa atin for 37 years, or even before that. That's why the Constitutional Commission put that, Section 26, Article 2, dapat ng mga tao mamulat na. At sila ay mismo magsabi, congressman, matagal na po kayo dyan. Mayor, matagal na po kayo dyan. Wala po ba namang marunong at qualified na mga ibang kandidato so that we can change leadership and hopefully have a better leadership in the future, and not people belonging to political dynasties who are monopolizing political power and influence in their respective districts and territories. That's exactly, we need to also tell the people, kailangan na magkaroon ng spark plug dito for the people to be able to realize that they're being shortchanged by their representative and districts. Because it is in the interest of these political dynasties to keep the people poor, right, Christian? So that during the election time, these poor people, their constituents would come to them and would ask money and resources from them. And they want that to be perpetuated. That condition should be perpetuated. That's why we have these political dynasties. There's no competition whatsoever. Ang dami-daming magagaling na mga kandidato, talo because wala silang pera, wala silang influence, at wala silang network. That's exactly why Section 26, Article 2 was promulgated by the Commission in 1987.
Ganda ng paliwanag niya, Attorney Rico Domingo, no? Yan po yung talagang root cause natin, no? Nakadikit po sa political dynasties sa mga viewers po natin yung issue ng political patronage o yung tinatawag na clientelism, no? Nararamdaman po natin yan across levels of government, no? Para bang Pilipino nakatanghod sa mga politiko for resources na galing din naman sa kanila, no? That's another issue. Ito po, sir, no? Meron kayong katukayo. Ay, hindi pala katukayo, sorry. Kumpanyero. Pinapatanong po, no? He was eagerly awaiting your appearance dito po sa ating programa. Si Attorney Michael Henry Yusinko. Ano rin po siya, no? Senior fellow dyan sa Ateneo Policy Center. Interesting din yung tanong niya, no? Sabi niya, what if dumaan na lang yung pag-enact ng isang batas against political dynasties dito sa People's Initiative? Baka mas realistic daw yun kesa idaan sa pandamos.
Pwede yun. That's an alternative. But again, that would be, in reality, in practical terms, Christian, pwede yung People's Initiative naman, ginagalaw din ng mga political dynasties yun. So they will craft the design of the system such that will favor them. So saan natin makikita yun? Talo rin tayo. Kaya dapat ang Honorable Supreme Court will now step up and issue the writ of mandamus para makita ng tao merong nangyayari dito sa ating bansa na tuksuin natin ang political dynasties that is mandated by the Constitution imperatively to be enacted. That law. Dapat pressurein natin ang Kongreso magbatas. Kung pakita natin kung sino magboboto sa political dynasties law proposed bill at anong nature ng definition ng political dynasty. Pakita natin sa mga tao sino ang mga nagre-reject ng proposal na yun. Makikita natin those who are part of the political dynasties who would like to perpetuate themselves in power and influence. Sila yon. Makikita ng tao yon. Sa next electoral contests, makikita ng mga tao, ito mga political dynasties, ito ang ating tinutukoy dito, ito ang pinoprohibit ng saligang batas natin.
Kaso nga po, yung mga ganyan dynasties, hindi naman sila nahihiya dyan. Nagmamalaki pa nga, di ba? Pinaparada ba? Ang susunod na mayor sa ating lungsod, ang aking anak. Diba? alam natin yan.
Christian, pinaperpetuate ng feudal system na ating umiiral dati. Feudalistic na sistema natin. It's only a modern day feudalism. Kaya dapat puksuin na natin yan. We are a democratic polity. Dapat puksuin na natin yung political dynasties to avoid the feudal system that we are experiencing right now. At hindi lang yun. Nakatuon din yan sa corruption, bad governance. Why? Because kung ikaw ay kongreso, nasa kongreso, syempre meron kang mga allowances, mga PDAF na yan. At kukunin mo yung perang yan para ma-elect ka ulit sa iyong term, sa iyong respective territories. So that will only foment corruption of the electoral system as well. Not to mention the corruption of the actual budget disposition ng mga congressmen at sa mga local government. Kaya ngayon, sabi natin, bakit, for example, ang local government unit elections are very violent? Why? Because the political dynasties would like to perpetuate themselves in power at makipagpapatayan sila para they can maintain their monopoly of the electoral process as well as the leadership.
Okay. Sir, ito mapasagot ko po sa inyo yung mga rationalizations. Hindi siya justification Rationalization na madalas ko pumadinig sa mga members ng political dynasties na ako mismo nakakausap ko po, for example, yung Erap dynasty, Isa po yan sa mga longest running and the biggest political dynasties in the Philippines. Nagsimula sa San Juan, tapos he tried to expand sa Manila, pero syempre eventually natalo rin siya. Mukha kasing medyo manipis na Yeah. That was the story of the Erap of the Estradas in Manila. Pag nakakausap po si Erap, ang lagi niyang sinasabi, teka, binoboto kami ng mga tao Hindi naman kami monarchy Hindi naman daw pinapamana technically. Binoboto raw sila ng tao. And this argument is not just being used by the likes of Joseph Estrada. Si Jingo Estrada, pag tinanong nyo, ganun din naman ang argument niya and many other political clans and dynasties. Ano ba yung tamang sagot doon? Ano ba yung mali ron? Kasi parang ginagamit na ng demokrasya to justify the perpetuation to power by members of these political clans. Ano pong sagot nyo doon?
Ang sagot po natin dyan, tinang naman natin, with all due respect to Senator Estrada, is the most man of conviction. Kita mo naman ang ginawa niya at na-conviction ng Sandigan Bayan. So in other words, naitatago sa mga electorate, mga mamboboto, ang kanilang layunin because the electorates themselves are not very well informed of exactly what kind of people they are. Because they have already the machinery, they have the media, which they are actually the environmental media, and they have the influence and the network. Hindi mananalong kalaban nila kung talaga may political dynasties na yan. Hindi mananalo sila kahit kailan. So anong gusto natin? We're gonna wait for another 37 years for the Supreme Court to compel Congress to pass a political dynasty prohibition? Baka hindi naman yata natin gusto yan.
Okay. Isa pang madalas ko madinig, sir, Wag niyong lalahatin kasi meron namang good dynasties at saka merong bad dynasties. Marami naman daw, in fairness din naman, no? May mga lugar sa Pilipinas na ang namumuno ay political dynasties. Ang madalas sa parusot po nila dyan, kunwari lang hindi naman kayo syempre dynasty. Example lang, Domingo, brand of public service. Nakikita ko yun sa mga probinsya, no? Mula noon hanggang ngayon, di ba? Yung ganyan, do you subscribe to, do you buy that argument? Hindi, meron naman mga good dynasties and they also bring change and development in areas in the Philippines.
Well, that can be probably true with respect to some more enlightened and more altruistic political dynasties. But again, why did the commission enact that Section 26? That means that there are empirical data that will support that political dynasties are not good for the governance of our country. Di ba? So, kahit ano sabihin nila na they're more qualified and therefore they're enlightened political dynasties at binoboto kami ng tao. Paano sila binoboto ng tao? Because what? Sino bang, let's say, dalawang kalaban nila, isa yung napakagaling at isa naman ay convicted sa isang krimen. Sinong iboboto ng tao? Siyempre, kung mulat ang mata ng mga tao, ng electorates, iboboto nila yung malinis na walang conviction. Right? So yun ang boboto nila because that would be a promise that the leadership of that particular person that they will vote on will be a good one as compared to the one who had been convicted.
Okay. Tsaka ang problema po dyan, di ba? Yung mga dynasties, kontrolado nila yung rules of the game, pati electoral system, di ba? Magkadikit yan kasi. Kunwari, the high cost of campaign o yung election spending, miski magaling ka pag wala kang pera, di ba po? Hindi ka naman napaka-slim ng chance ng kandidatong ganon to actually win an election kung ang kalaban is political dynasties. Tama po ba?
Oo, mechanism, a machine ng mga political dynasties something very inviolable. Hindi natin matututukan na mapapantayan yan. Kung an ordinary Juan de la Cruz na napakagaling ay lalaban sa political dynasties, wala siyang kalaban-laban. No? Kaya dapat magkaroon ng pagbabago sa electoral system natin. And that will be, part of this would be to reform the electoral system by prohibiting the political dynasties, which is required by the Constitution nonetheless, na hindi pa natin ginagamit since 37 years ago.
Ito pala sir, paano kung idaan naman ito ng ating mga magagaling na congressmen o members ng Senate sa isang charter change o kaya constituent assembly? O game, sige, gusto nyo i-define namin yung political dynasties saka mag-pass kami ng anti-political dynasty law, isabay na natin sa political chacha, hindi lang economic chacha, which we all know can open a Pandora's box, no? Paano kung ganun po yung mangyari?
Yan ang pwedeng gawin nilang gambit, no, Christian? Pwede nilang sabihin kasama ng People's Initiative or amendment ng Constitution. But I think makikita naman ng tao ang kanilang ginagawa. So probably the people who would be enacting or be faced with the referendum will reject that kind of initiative.
Sa papala sir, no, before I forget, one of the arguments I usually hear from members of political clans, sinasabi nila, undemocratic yan pag binan yung political dynasty. Kunwari, very qualified naman yung anak, yung pamangkin, o yung pinsan, bakit yung pipigilang magserbisyo sa tao? Kunwari, edukado naman, mataas yung pinag-aralan, very qualified. Ano po ba ang sagot doon?
Tingnan natin ang kalaban nila. Ang ginagawa nila they're stifling competition di ba? Political dynasties, pinag-echapera nila yung kalaban nila Tingnan natin mabuti. Then the people will elect freely and choose themselves. That's why the Section 26 state policy says to guarantee the people's ability to choose their own candidates. Yan ang pinapangalagaan ng Section 26 because kung ang political dynasties na nandyan, hindi na free ang choice nila. Di ba? Hindi na free. Hindi na malawak ang kanilang. They are constricting the pool of candidates who are qualified. Kung kinonstrict mo ang pool of candidates, so number of candidates na lalaban sa political dynasties, walang kalaban talaga yung ibang pang. I think we can even ask, I'm sure if there is a survey, maraming mga magagaling na Filipino, in fact, Maraming nag-text sa akin na Christian. Sabi nila, tama po ang ginagawa nyo. Kasi dito sa aming probinsya, wala nang nangyayari. Puro mga abogado yon, puro mga professionals yon. Hindi kami manalo. Sabi nila, hindi po kami mananalo dyan kasi malaki ang makinaryo ng political dynasties. Sabi ko, gumawa kayo ng manifesto para mai-support ang aming ginagawa. Magtulong-tulungan tayo. Let the people be more aware of what's happening. And we have been sleeping for 37 years, Christian. Hindi natin sinusuko itong political dynasties. And I think this should be a spark plug for the nation to have and to rally around this petition para tayo ay magkasama-sama. Pag nakita ng Supreme Court na tayo magkakasama at kailangan natin ng batas along that line, then perhaps makikinig ang Supreme Court because that is their duty to also implement the Constitution, particularly in this particular respect, the Section 26, Article 2.
Okay. Bilang panghuli, attorney, tanungin ko na rin po kayo, no? Kung kayo yung magka-craft ng batas na ito, ano ba dapat yung degree of affinity and consanguinity na maganda na makover ng isang anti-political dynasty ban? Sinasabi na ba second degree, iba up to third degree? Sa inyo po ba? Anong tingin nyo?
Sa akin, hindi ko pa masyadong masusi kung na-analyze yan Kasi that actually, Christian, that is on the discretion of the Congress, no? We don't want to tell the Supreme Court, to tell the Congress to define or what they want to do, because that's discretionary sa Congress. What is imperative and mandatory would be the passage of the anti-political dynasty bill or law. Pero kung ako ang iisipin mo, kung ako ang tatanungin mo, as wider as possible that we can have so that we can really remove the vestiges of the political dynasties, Christian. Makikita naman natin dyan Pati na asawa, kahit nakabit ng mga congressman, nagiging kasama sa political dynasties, right? Kahit na kung saan, kung ang layo-layo na ang kanilang agwat sa political dynasty, pumapasok pa rin doon because meron silang agwatan or may connection sa political dynasty. Dapat ay ating ma-anticipate yun kasi magagaling ang ating mga mambabatas na paikutan ang the value and the intent of the constitutional provision against political dynasties. Kaya dapat tayo vigilante. We should be vigilant. If they propose a bill at we don't like it because that would only circumvent the prohibition against the political dynasties under Section 26, which is mandatorily mandated by the Constitution, tayong mga tao ang dapat lumalabas sa sinasabi, niloloko niyo naman kami, wag naman ganyan. Kasi that is actually in contravention of the essence and the objective of the constitutional provision on that. So hindi natin papayagan yan. Kaya nga tayo meron tayong Christian. Ako'y natutuwa sa iyo, napakabata mo pa at marami ka nang nararating sa ating journalism at ating pagpapalawak ng kaalaman ng mga tao. Sana ituloy natin yan at sana mas maraming taong kagaya mo, Christian. I'm not saying this because I want you to applaud you personally, but I think we need to have a snowballing support for that kind of initiative. Implementahin natin ang ating mga kababayan. Kailangan natin to, Christian, para ito sa mga bata, sa mga anak natin, sa future generations, para maputol na ang vestiges ng political dynasty sa ating electoral system at ating gobyerno at ating bansa.
Salamat, sir. Nakakatabuhan ng puso yung sinabi niyo. Pero talagang yung political dynasties po kasi, isa po ito sa mga matagal ko na pong tinututukan ng issues dahil talaga naman napakagarapal ng mga political dynasties at kadikit po dyan yung tinatawag na clientelism o yung political patronage. Meron pa nga yan yung rent seeking, di ba? Tsaka yung mga regulatory capture. Yan po yung mga madalas nating pinapaliwanag. Nga pala sir, kanina natawa ako nang binanggit nyo pating kabit, no? Kasi totoo pong nangyayari yan Nga pala legally, paano ba i-categorize yan? Di ba sa batas kailangan ng categorization or differentiation, di ba? Kasi napaka-creative ng ating mga politiko, no? Basically creative for all the wrong reasons. Baka sabihin nila, paano naging dynasty? Kabit ko nga yan. Hindi nga minsan naaminin, di ba? Wala kaming relations whatsoever. So, I can't imagine, for now, what kind of law would be able to cover that.
Palagay ko kailangan ng creative mind ng mga ng mga professionals who are in this kind of business, no. Kailangan makita natin kasi kung kabit lang 'yon, legally hindi pwede. Pero kung let's say ang kanyang influence sa kabit niya ay malawak din, siguro titingnan natin ang background ng kabit. Kung ang kabit ay talagang naka-angkla sa political dynasty, siguro sasabihin natin pati yung kabit dapat hindi kasali. So it has to be more creative and more forward-looking, Christian. Hindi maaari tayong iliitin natin ating mga paningin natin eh. We'll anticipate what the political dynasties have been doing since 37 years ago. Dapat anticipate natin yun at i-plug natin ng loopholes para hindi na sila makalusot. Nakakalusot sila ng 37 years Christian, even before that. So gusto nilang i-perpetuate itong system na ito para sa kanilang kapakanan at sa interest nila at hindi interest ng ating mga kababayan.
Okay. Well, maraming salamat, Attorney Rico Domingo. No? At least you filed a very important petition sa Supreme Court. At kung dun sa dito sa mga viewers natin, no, sana nasundan nyo po yung binabanggit ni Attorney. Importante dyan yung vigilance ng public. Kasi minsan may pag-asa pa rin, no? Kahit napakagarapal ng ating mga legislators. No? Basta meron tamang push from the people. Diba? Just like during the pork barrel issue. Diba? Miski administrasyon ng time na yun, gusto naman yung pork barrel Pero eventually, di ba, they were forced to give it up. Although nandun pa rin naman yung pork barrel ngayon.
Pero natutulog tayo, Christian, I'm sorry to say, medyo natutulog tayo ng 37 years, hindi natin binubulaga ang mga liderato natin. Dapat maano na tayo, maging forceful na tayo sa ating adikain, Sabihin natin, ang hirap sa ating mga Pilipino, na with due respect to our countrymen, apathetic sila Hindi sila naninindigan Manindigan tayo. Siguraduhin natin na ang gusto natin mangyari sa ating mga mambabatas, ito, wag tayong patumpik-tumpik pa. Dapat sabihin natin sa kanila, magpas kayo ng anti-dynasty bill and law. Gusto namin yan. Kami yung bumaboto sa inyo, gusto namin yan. Pag narinig nila yan, matatakot din yan
Tama.
Diba?
Okay.
Manindigan tayo. Huwag tayong papayag na gagawin nilang dapat nilang gawin. Dapat ang tao mismo, ang people power, dapat umiiral na naman ngayon.
Nagustuhan niyo ba ang ganitong pagtalakay? Mag-follow sa Informador FB page at mag-subscribe sa Informador YouTube channel. Ang Informador ay nilikha ng mga staff ni Atty. Ricky Tumutorgo, aka Insurrecto, upang lalong lumawak ang inaabot ng pagpapalaganap ng katotohanan at labanan ang fake